Round 29 of the 2018 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series had a huge question mark around it. Before the year, NASCAR fans made it very clear they wanted more than 2 road courses on the schedule. However, contracts with other track owners stood in the way of adding more to the schedule. But a deal with Charlotte Motor Speedway was made for the Cup Series to go road course racing on the Roval, which to say the least was very controversial. It was the first gimmicky track added to the schedule, and some fans were not willing to give it a chance. Not to mention, it was the first road course in NASCAR playoff history. Nothing but chaos was expected, and the round of 16 cutoff race was hyped up to be as unpredictable as Talladega or Daytona. But I don't think anyone expected what actually happened in the race.
Oh, he just gets loose and he's nowhere to go.
Wow. There around Ryan Newman, and
There's no real estate.
oh man, he again. Holy Toledo. We hit those turtles and you literally fly in the air.
2 massive practice crashes suffered by Eric Jones and Darrell Wallace Jr. created more controversy before the race even started. As a result, the chicane barrier was pushed back a few feet to prevent wrecks there in the race. Big-name drivers Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin were below the playoff cutoff line to add more talking points heading into the race.
It's the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series Bank of America Roval 400. Words we have never said before. The seats at the championship table are dwindling. So how are playoff teams feeling?
The green flag flew with Kurt Busch leading the field into turn 1. No one expected the first laps to play out like they did. The first 14 laps were run under the green flag with minimal spins and problems for drivers. They were more than likely taking a conservative approach. Denny Hamlin, though, a playoff driver desperate for a good run, flat-spotted his tire and had to pit on lap 6. Stanton Barrett brought out the first yellow flag on lap 15.
And they're just a little too fast, got on the brakes and locked them up and just head on in the wall. And it's a very deceiving corner. You see that wall just collapse.
The race was restarted and ran green until the end of stage 1, where Kyle Larson took the green and white checkered flag to win. The second stage went completely caution-free. Ryan Blaney took the lead from Kyle Larson on lap 37, and on lap 52 he would win the stage.
And Blaney is going to win stage 2. To the Tums Heartburn turn.
Hamrick on the outside with them old tires is stacking up.
A debris caution would come out on lap 60. Larson would once again lead on the restart until Austin Dillon would bring out the caution on lap 67 after hitting the wall entering the final chicane. Lap 70 would bring out another caution where the 37 of Chris Buescher and the 10 of Eric Almirola were involved in separate incidents.
Coming up over 6. Oh, wow. Did Eric get sent by the 17, I wonder?
The race was definitely picking up at this point as drivers were finding more confidence and taking bigger risks. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. would lead a few laps before Brad Keselowski took the lead from him. Unfortunately for Stenhouse, he would be the next caution on lap 103 when he lost it going into the Tums Heartburn turn and wrecked out.
Something.
With desperate drivers trying to get into the round of 12, everybody knew it would be a thrilling finish. This caution set up a restart with only 6 laps to go.
A little shove from Martin Truex Jr. And too hard through one. Keselowski, Larson both into the wall. They pile up in the Tums Heartburn turn. Caution coming out again.
Everyone missed turn 1. After no major incidents throughout the race to this point, the big one happened. 6 drivers' days immediately ended, including Brad Keselowski, the leader, and Kyle Busch and Paul Menard, who restarted in the top 5.
Trouble right there. He knows he's trouble, got the left front locked up, and now just nowhere for these guys to go. I think even the 18, he was in too deep.
The chaos predicted for the race finally happened. Everyone knew it was coming, and it was more of a question of when than if. This wreck included some massive hits, which are sometimes overlooked just because of the fact it was so unexpected and crazy. However, the wow factor was not done yet. Truex led the field to the final restart, which would leave 3 laps of racing left.
Go from the Charlotte Roval.
They got to be careful getting into turn one. We just saw what happened. They're going to have to check up.
To add to the drama, Larson, Bowman, and Eric Almirola were all separated by only 1 point on the final lap, and one of them was destined to be knocked out on points. But the more interesting thing was the battle for the lead. Jimmy Johnson was closing on Martin Truex Jr. Johnson was on the longest winless streak of his career, dating back to Dover of 2017, over 50 races at this point. Johnson was well inside the playoffs, about 8 points, and just needed to bring it home in second place to advance. But Johnson was not satisfied. He wanted the win.
Inside! Here comes Jimmy Johnson!
Oh!
Locks the brakes up!
Oh, he's
and he's
spinning!
going to slide! He slides through the middle! Truex gets
Truex has
tagged!
got...
Now, it'll be a fight for the finish line! Ryan Blaney in the 12 will win!
He stopped. He came to a full stop.
This incident knocked Johnson out of the playoffs because of this move, and all 3 drivers that were battling for points at the end of the race would advance. What an insane finish to put a cherry on top of this race. Also, it was hilarious watching Truex come back and wreck Johnson after the finish, something we really don't see out of either of those drivers.
48-78.
This is after the race.
Look at that. That was after the checkered flag had been out, and Martin Truex Jr. showing.
Johnson never won a race after this moment, ending his career on a winless streak of over 100 races. This would be Blaney's sole win of the year and the second of his career. This would also be road course ringer Justin Marks' last start in the Cup Series as of recording this video, and would be the last time Cole Whitt finished all the laps of a race. It would be Jamie McMurray's best finish of the season in second place, and the last top 5 of his career at the time of recording this video. Ringer and dark horse favorite AJ Allmendinger finished an impressive top 10, and a 6th place finish would be Alex Bowman's best of his career to date. The thrilling moments may have just solidified the track's future on the schedule, and is now looked at as one of the most thrilling tracks on the calendar. It only further encouraged more road course racing in NASCAR. The Roval also encouraged the adoption of the controversial Indy Roval. The Charlotte Roval is going to go down in history because of this race, and it is now circled in every driver's and fan's calendar.
Through. Jimmy Johnson driving hard in the corner, just too much speed. Truex saw it, tried to avoid him, just couldn't avoid him.
And Blaney sneaks through.
News to Jimmy now. With that finish, Jimmy, you are officially out. You will not move on to the next round. Describe for us coming to 15, knowing that there was one shot for the win.
Yeah, I was more worried about the win than anything else, and I hate that I started wheel hopping and took Martin and I out. That's the last thing that I wanted to do, and I put pressure on him into turn 3. He washed up, and I thought that I was going to be in the prime.